You
Welcome to Knockout Football. Um, we're going to be talking about football kits today. So we're joined by Raquel and Xander. If you guys want to introduce yourselves.
do you
Uh,
want to go first,
Go
Xander?
on, Raquel, go on.
yeah,
All right. Well, hi, my name is Raquel. I'm from Madrid, Spain, and I met Tommy will be in an Academy of Arts soccer teams. So yeah, on to you, Xander.
Hello, my name is Xander Cleves. I'm from Canada. I go here to Academy of Art, and I play soccer on the men's team here, and I've got a love of the game, and I love football kits and everything about the design and the fashion aspect of it. So yeah, I think that's all really cool.
sounds good. Sounds good. All right, we'll just kick it off. Um, so we'll start with you, Xander. What's your like earliest football memory? And like, is there like a kit involved in it?
I'd say my earliest football memory would be um. Probably the best earliest football memory would be was it 2014 World Cup in Brazil, the final between Argentina and Germany. And I know that might sound quite recent, but I was born in 2005, so I was only 9 years old when that final happened. But what I remember is I remember going to the store with my parents and seeing that light blue and white Argentina kit, and I wanted that kit so bad. I bought a flag, I bought everything. I was a big Messi fan and all that. I'm 0% Argentinian, but I was a massive Argentina fan for that day. And yeah, no, that kit is iconic. Both of that World Cup one and also just the blue and white and gold of Argentina in general, I think
Yeah,
is a
it's
good color
six,
scheme and
six of
it
them.
definitely sticks out for sure. So
Yeah. What about you, Raquel?
Oof. I think one of my earliest memories was watching Spain win the World Cup.
Oh,
I just remember being in the airport, like about to get into a flight. So I think we were following the game on the phone, and everyone just kept like screaming and cheering whenever like Real Madrid was scoring, which was kind of epic.
yeah.
Um, so yeah, I kind of just I don't know. Everyone wanted that kid back then. Like, how could you not?
Did you get that kit in the end?
I know, I wish. I still want it.
Yeah, Xander, my first memory was have you ever seen the clip of Frank Lampard against Germany scoring? Well, it didn't count.
okay, yeah. I know which one you're talking about. The
Uh,
England kit.
yeah. Well, more Frank Lampard's goal.
Okay, yeah.
Well, disallowed goal, but still sick. And then Xander, if you had to pick one football kit that defines like your love of the game, like what would it be?
Ooh, that's a difficult one. Personally, I think if we're going to find one single kit to define the love of the game, maybe Brazil, definitely an older Brazil kit.
Yeah,
Maybe going back to the Ronaldinho, Roberto Carlos, that kind of era, like early 90s, sorry, late 90s, early 2000s. Uh, oh yeah, those kits were brilliant. The bright yellow and gold of Brazil with the green. Oh no, it's just perfect. I think they mixes really well together. And for many people, players like Ronaldinho, Roberto Carlos, Ronaldo are all players that inspire them to play the game and kind of brought the love of the game for them. So I think it's the same for me. And yeah, if I had to choose one, that's really what one I'd go for.
yeah, they're very sticking kits, especially like have you seen the T90 ones where they have the number in like the middle with like the circle?
Yeah, in the circle, yeah. No, those ones are top class.
Yeah, they're class. What about you, Rock?
Ooh, I mean, I really like the one that I'm wearing right now, like the Real Madrid, I think it's 2006, if I'm right. But if it was like more in relation to like the game or a year that I really liked, I think the 2011 to 12, I would say, Real Madrid home kit, just because it was like an amazing season and they broke obviously like a lot of records and stuff. So it just reminds me about all of that.
Was David Beckham there then?
With this one, or yeah, I think so. I'm pretty sure.
I
But
can't remember. I can't remember when he went.
I
Uh,
can't remember, but
yeah. And how do you think like football kits like reflect the identity of like a club and country? Because I think it like is a massive like thing. Because like colours like stick with teams and like stuff like that.
mm, um,
I think you see colors especially really allow fans to like grasp a sense of community. If you see someone walking around in a blue and gold shirt, you're thinking, okay, they're Argentinian. If you see someone walking around in the blue, yellow, and green of Brazil, you're like, okay, that's a Brazilian. Like that's someone I can really identify with. And that's the sense of community that gets brought out when you see someone wearing a shirt or seeing a colors or whatever else. And especially if you're walking around some city in Europe, whether it be like Munich or France, um, like Paris, anywhere. If you walk around anywhere in there and you see someone wearing like their hometown kit, you know they're from there, and you see someone wearing like the rival kit, and sometimes they'll exchange a few words, and there's really a sense of pride and community there. So I think that the kit and also the colors have so much to do with like building a strong sense of community within a large group of people. So I think that's really cool.
Yeah, I agree with that. Like colors make such a big difference. Like when a team releases like a third kit or like an away kit that's like the wrong color, like it just sticks out like a sore thumb,
Yeah,
kind of
for
thing.
sure.
What about you, Rock? You're wearing a black Madrid top. I don't really associate Madrid with black.
yeah, that's fair. I mean, it's a tough one. I definitely think like the colors are related not only to like culture, like its country's like flag or stuff like that, but also like I guess they're the team's culture. I feel like for me, even though I love this kid, I would much rather have it in white. I think white color and gold both really like stakes to Real Madrid kids along their story. And I think it's very cool. I think it goes again with their values of like, I don't know, being like a team who it's always like classic, no, a bit like timeless, or even the gold I kind of like related to them being champions. So at least I would like to think so.
Yeah.
So yeah, I think that's pretty cool to think about.
Yeah, no, that makes sense. Yeah, it's definitely well to me it's a massive deal. Like as I said, like if a team releases like a new kit with like random colors, it just doesn't look right. But yeah. Right. And Xander, what do you think about like current kit trends? Like do you prefer them now or do you prefer the more like classic, like simpler kind of like looks?
I think when you look at older trends, I think where people really miss a lot of the aspects of those kits or just the straight nostalgia aspect of it all. We live in a very nostalgia driven age today, and I think that if you see something from your childhood, if you see something from that brings back an older memory for you, you're instantly drawn back to that moment. You have a connection with that thing or with that color, with that kit, whatever it may be, and you automatically you're like, oh my God, and everything kind of comes back to you in all in one sense. It's a very powerful thing. And so I think that's where a lot of people get drawn out into modern versus older kits, where they grew up with that kit, they grew up with that colorway, they grew up with that design, and they want to see more of that. Where in the modern day of football, things have moved along so much in terms of kit design, kit quality. For example, this kit I'm wearing from Canada, it's very, very basic, very bland, but there's little details, and it's very thin for players. It's much easier to wear than a big, thicker shirt like maybe you're wearing with the Arsenal top. But I think the modern football kits are okay, except for when they change too much. I think there's certain things that older football kits did really well in terms of keeping um the crest on one side, the branding on the other side, and the number in the middle, or maybe an advertiser in the middle. When they start mixing that around or making it straight or flipping this sideways like how Nike has done, I think that's going too far, and I think that's where you really see the trends kind of starting to fall off. but I think in terms of using new colors and all that kind of stuff, I think that's free range to do whatever you want, create that nostalgia for that new generation.
Okay. Yeah, I agree with a lot of that because I do feel like a lot of modern kits now are perhaps like trying a little too much. Like the Arsenal kit this year with the like three different colors.
Yeah.
Like it just doesn't look right to me. And I feel like it would look better if they just kind of kept it simpler and like stuck to their roots kind of thing.
Hmm.
Yeah. What about you, Rock?
I mean, I definitely agree with what Xander just said. I don't know. I feel like it's kind of tough. Obviously, like for at least me, I would rather like choose a classic one, a retro one over like the modern ones. I feel like sometimes all the modern ones just feel like too simple, like too similar to each other. Like the only things that change were colors, where like the retro ones are much more unique in my opinion. So I feel like that's what I mean. If the club you support, if the country you support, it's unique, why shouldn't the kid be too? So I don't know. I think that's my perspective on it.
Yeah, no, I agree because there's a lot of like the kits now where like with the big brands like making them, they kind of have like the same like style. They just change the colors and obviously the badge for the team and like stuff like that. Like a
Mhm.
lot of them are now very similar, whereas like back then there was a lot more difference.
Yeah.
But yeah, have either of you ever had like a kit or like own one now that like makes you feel like the man, like a superstar kind of thing?
Hmm. This one I don't own, but I wish I had the 2014 Real Madrid one. It's same thing. Like we won La Decima, so I feel like wearing that would feel like part of the celebration. So I feel like if I was wearing that while playing, I would feel pretty pretty cool about it.
So you would feel like the champion, like wearing that.
Yeah, pretty much.
Yeah, that makes sense. What about you, Xander?
I think for me, the kit that I would have that would kind of complete my collection, so to say, would definitely be an older shirt. But trying to narrow even that down is difficult. Let's think. Maybe again going back to South America, maybe looking at a Argentinian or maybe a Brazilian top. But I'll go with no, that's I want to go to the 1966 England winning the World Cup for the first time. The Jules Rimet trophy. I want that old kit. You know, one of the ones like the cotton ones the players are wearing. I think that would be so cool to have. That's a real piece of history. England's one and only World Cup. Yeah, I think I would really want that one. And that one would be on my wall, hung up, centerpiece of all my collection. So I think that'd be really cool to have.
I'd love to have that one too.
Yeah.
There is actually one kit I have. You guys are probably gonna find this quite funny, but like a Boca Juniors one where the sponsor's Pepsi, and because I love Pepsi, it just like fits so well,
Class.
and I feel like it's just perfect. It's just perfect for me. So
It definitely is.
yeah. And then Rock, what's your take on like the retro kits like making a comeback? Like now I feel like they're a bit more popular. Like do you think they should be or
I mean, yeah, why not? I feel like there's a whole debate whether like, oh, there's people who don't really follow football or soccer, as you people call it here, and like if you don't support a team, you shouldn't be wearing it or whatever. I feel like honestly, I think they're just like again, aesthetic wise, they're really cool. I don't really think you need to support it to wear it. Obviously, it's great if you do. And
yeah,
I think that comes with like different, again, values or ideas of it, of like wearing it because you're supporting the team or I don't know, respecting a team or whatever. But I mean, why not? You can have fun with it, and I feel like that's the whole idea with kids. So why not?
yeah, yeah, that all makes sense. I also to an extent don't have an issue with like people wearing like other teams' kits unless they're like big rivals because I feel like that like crosses the line. like I'll never wear like a Tottenham kit. Like if I ever saw a Tottenham kit, like let's say I did like a mystery like box or something and got one, I would either send it straight back or just chuck it straight in the bin.
I mean, I do think it's different if you do actually support a team. I would definitely never wear a Barca jersey. So yeah, that's definitely a line to cross.
What about you, Xander?
I think it's definitely just a fashion statement at this point. I think there's a lot of like fashion influencers, whether it be on Instagram or TikTok or whatever else, and it's really just become a fashion trend. And I think that's fine. I think it's cool. Um, and I don't see any problem with it. I think whether it's real or fake, I don't think it matters as long as like you're kind of wearing it to represent, you're kind of understand a little bit about what it means. If you're just wearing it and you kind of don't know what it means just for a fashion trend for a week and you're gonna throw it out the next week, that I don't think that's super cool. But yeah, no, I think it's a cool little fashion trend. And personally, I like the looks of the retro kits a lot, so
Yeah,
I definitely participate in that trend as well.
I think red just pops out more.
Yeah.
Yeah. And do you guys like the fact that they're now like fashionable? Like, do you think they are fashionable kind of thing?
I think so. I like it a lot. I think just being able to wear a football shirt around in public and everyone thinks it's cool. I think that's like a nice little cherry on top, I guess, for a lot of football fans.
Yeah.
I couldn't agree more. I'm definitely guilty of it. So I mean, I like it.
Yeah, it's just easy as well. Like
Yeah.
most of them are like comfortable as well.
Hmm.
Yeah, it just fits. And then the last thing is there like one kit that you've always wanted but like never owned or never been able to find? Like one kit that like stands out to you that you like really want.
Hmm.
I, I feel like I've already mentioned a few. But honestly, even the England one that Xander said before would have been pretty iconic to have. I guess like some of like countries that have been very iconic in football history. Brazil, England, I don't know. Like there's so many. That would be really cool to have.
Yeah, that makes sense. What about you, Xander?
I think at least right now we've been talking about the retro football kits, but I think the one that I want right now the most is one of the newer Canada kits.
Oh,
Um they released a few new ones before this past summer's Copa America, and I think those ones are quite cool. They mix it up a little bit, and I know I don't like it, but some of them have like the Canada down the middle, which I think is I might go for the other one that has like the more traditional setup like this. But I think overall that one's really, really cool. And that's the one that's evaded me so far. So I gotta add that one to the collection.
yeah. So I really want the 0102 Arsenal home kit.
Okay. Yeah, yeah. Off
The,
the
the,
Invincibles
the,
one.
yeah. And plus, it was the year I was born as well, so there's like
Perfect.
a lot of things I like going.
Nice.
Yeah. All right. Well, thank you guys for coming on.
Thanks, Tom, for having us.
That's
Thank
all
you so
right.
much.
All right. I'll see you
Bye.
guys later.
Bye.
See you.